hope you're having a good day. Michael says, new week, new streams, cook with Kate and friends. I hope you're doing good, Michael. Welcome in, yet it is. Oh no, you're already having Twitch glitching for you. Let's not today, Twitch. Let's just have a nice, easy day where things go great. Oak, welcome in. It's you and Mr. Rebel and the Kate food stream loving kitty. I hope I get to meet him one day. Be cooking live. Mr. Rebel's like, wow, this is what it's like? Oh, man. Okay, guys, I hope you all had a wonderful week. It's awesome to be back in the kitchen cooking. I don't know about you guys, but my energy this week was like so low. I didn't feel like doing too much at all. I still did all the things that I should have, but I really didn't feel like it at all. It was very odd. Also, it hasn't stopped snowing here since I woke up this morning, so everything is just like white again, and it is so weird. It's like, hello, spring? Anyone? It's April. He's quite old. Oh, yeah, hopefully a couple more years then. What else, guys? I had a good grocery shop this morning. I was really proud because I have been setting that like $40 goal for donation for stream groceries every week. I actually only spent $40 today, so that was like kind of a cool feeling. If you want to see all the stuff that I bought, I did make an Instagram reel today. So go onto my Cook with Kate Instagram and check it out because we're going to be starting those every week because I want to start comparing like grocery prices from around the world. Because here in Canada, it is insanely high, and I feel like we're getting like robbed seriously every time I go out to buy groceries. But alas, I am very happy to have like stream to be able to support me and like fund that food that we all cook and learn together, right? You had a few flakes fall for 5 minutes where you're in USA. I thought it was gonna stop, and then it's been like non-stop. So I'm really happy that I went out very early this morning because it got way worse after I came home. Your kitty's turning 16. That's actually a really like good age for cats. Holy, he's had a good life then. And what else, guys? Nothing really else for update, I don't think. This week, Samuel's doing good up at work. He'll be home on Thursday next week. I'll be able to pick him up, so I'm getting excited for that. And that's about it, I think. Let's have a good weekend of cooking. So today we're making Indian food, and it is also vegetarian food. But yeah, with how expensive our groceries are here, I'm gonna say like at least once a week I eat vegetarian. So I thought it would be fun to do this today on stream because Indian food is so delicious. And a lot of their food is vegetarian, so it makes it a little bit less expensive, right? But it still fills you up with the things that they use. Like we're making a cheese and spinach curry today, which is the Palak Paneer. And then we're just gonna make some rice on the side because the spinach and all of the veggies are already in the curry sauce blended up. So that's already done. And I also bought Pappadums today because I've never made them before. I was gonna make sourdough naan bread today with you guys, but the recipe takes like 2 days. So I didn't think that would be very fun for us to make. But Pappadums, these are actually gluten-free. They're made from lentil flour, I believe. Yeah, lentil, salt. I got black pepper ones because I thought that would be yummy compared to the just plain ones. Yeah, it's just lentil flour, salt, pepper, rice flour, and coconut oil. Very simple. And all you do, I don't know, let's check it out right now because I've never like made these before at home. But I saw like, let's say parody, like funny kind of food guy on Instagram making them. And it made me want to try them at home. That's what it looks like. So you just heat up like 3 centimeters of oil in a pan, it said. And then you just quickly fry them like 3 seconds aside in the oil and they like puff up and get super yummy and crispy and are awesome for like dipping and eating Indian food. Yeah, I'm gonna let those comments build up, and after stream, I'm gonna go back and answer them all. Because it's been so interesting seeing what people are saying, Michael. Thank you for commenting on that too. I think it puts me more in the algorithm. It's very helpful. Yeah, I was kind of shocked today, I will say, like paying $40 for that little bit of stuff. The only meat thing I got was a small pack of bacon, and that was only $5. And the bulk of the rest of this stuff was $40. So what? This time the store will be open, Blood Oak? Yes. You're gonna make a baked mac and cheese with bacon with a salad on the side. Did you guys see, was it Scooter that posted that in Discord in the food photos? Her insane pork belly mac and cheese that she had. My goodness, that looked so dang good. Okay, I didn't post the menu or anything yet, right? So here's our menu. And then there's a couple of recipes to go along with it. I didn't link a recipe for the Pappadums because it has the instructions on the package for you already. You saw it? That's why you're making it? Oh, that made my mouth like water yesterday when she posted it. Hi, DeBear fan. How are you doing? I mean, I got a little treat yesterday too. Sam ordered me in like my favorite Vietnamese food that we always order. And yeah, that was seriously good. I was like, I don't have to cook today. He's like, nope, just track your delivery and it's on the way. Best feeling ever, honestly, sometimes. Especially when you're always like home alone and you just cook for yourself every single day and don't eat out. The best. You love making loaded mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is always good, right? There's never a time where it's not. Okay, this is the other thing that's been happening this week, and it's like seriously distracting, bugging me. My eye, like right here, like from here, from the corner all the way to like through my cheek, won't stop twitching. And it's been like almost 2 weeks now, so I think I have to book a doctor's appointment. Because I was like looking it up right online, and like there's nothing really too crazy that happens if your eye twitches, but it says if it goes on like 2 to 3 weeks without stopping, you should probably get it looked at. So I was like, oh, thanks a lot, eyeball. Okay, so I'm just looking over our recipe. Right? When your eye twitches, it's like, my goodness. Like, I haven't been drinking much coffee. It said that was one of them. I've like totally almost cut caffeine out. So I don't know why it's doing that. Probably good for me to get it checked out then if there's nothing else that would be making it happen. Okay, Palak Paneer, which is a spinach and cheese curry. Paneer is the cheese that you would typically use in this. It is like a soft cheese that honestly doesn't taste like much in my opinion. We've used it before on stream, and like out of all the other cheeses that we always use, Paneer like just kind of fell flat. And I didn't find that it had the flavor I was looking for. So this recipe that I linked today, because I had an extra pack of halloumi cheese, which is like a lot more salty and flavorful and like buttery and creamy and nutty. This recipe uses halloumi cheese in it, and we've made it before on stream, I think like a couple years ago when we were on the island or something still. So it's definitely time to make it again. You always make it with halloumi. It just tastes way better. Like that one time I bought Paneer because I couldn't find halloumi, and yeah, it would just like, I didn't feel as good eating it. Okay, what else did they say about this? And like my dishwasher is drying right now, so it's like steaming me up. I'm getting so warm standing here. The hecky. Okay, so it says it's a popular North Indian spinach and cheese curry. And as well, we can say this. So paneer, it says a type of firm Indian cottage cheese made from cow's milk, Whereas halloumi is made from a mixture of cow, goat, and sheep, which I actually find you can digest easier when it's not just cow's milk. Hi, Greek. Welcome in. How's your week? Right? That is where my halloumi's from. It's from Cyprus, not Southeast Asia. Shh. Recipes are just guidelines, right? You're still allowed to use what you like best. Don't let people make you feel bad. It is important to know the proper way and the proper ingredients that you should be using, but if that's not what you like, don't worry. Like, you should be able to eat food that you really like. Okay, Amp, what are you saying? So yesterday was National Burrito Day. You got a chicken and shrimp burrito with bell peppers, jalapenos, and a spicy tartar sauce aioli. Whoa. The star was the side of fried jalapeno, macaroni cheese balls. They were the size of a baseball. How much were those? And where did you get this? From like a food truck? There's like nothing around here that is crazy good like that. I will say that. Okay, this is what they say. A question. Is this dish healthy, the spinach cheese curry? Because you would think with the spinach it's pretty healthy, right? But then you're adding cheese, so you're like wondering. It says there's a lot of spinach and therefore iron in the curry and a lot of calcium in the cheese. However, I thought this was very interesting when I read through yesterday. The calcium in the cheese will limit the amount of iron that your body absorbs to only 5%. I don't know if it's different if you're using halloumi, but that's crazy, I thought. Was like, I didn't know that calcium limits your iron absorption. And then they said the combination of spinach and cheese together reduces the amount of soluble oxalates in the spinach and reduces oxalic acid, which can cause kidney stones and like affect how your glands are working and stuff. So that is really cool. So I would say yes, it is good for you. Can you still call it paneer if you don't use paneer to make it? I know, Chase. I was gonna call it like Palak halloumi, but then I felt like people wouldn't know what it was, right? Trust me, when I am like typing out all the things for the stream, the chef in me sometimes cringes. Greek, you're having an okay week? I will say the same, dude. I will say the same. Like, my energy levels are insane this week. It's like up, it's down, but we are here, and I will say I was very much looking forward to stream because stream always makes me feel normal. Okay, Oko got his last of the Lego parts. Only a week after they were scheduled to be delivered. At least you got them, though. So this restaurant in town is converting from an old TGI Fridays to a hometown Mexican restaurant. I wish more places around here did that. Like all of the Red Robins have closed and I've never even ate there in my life. All the Red Robins are closed here in Edmonton and they're just demolishing the building. Like nothing is taking it over, just poof. Gone to the trash pile. Okay, ingredients. I'm scrolling down in this curry. It says you can make it very quick. Preparation time 20 minutes, cooking time 20 minutes, so total around 40 minutes. You probably can. It's not very difficult at all. So you need spinach. Another thing I really like with this curry is you use cashews in it to make like a yummy sort of creamy cashew spinach sauce. Interesting. Lots of different spices, cumin, garam masala, we'll do onion, garlic, ginger. A tomato goes in the curry fresh, which is really, really yummy. I always like that. I did forget to pull out my tomato paste that I had extra from the freezer, but I'm sure we can just like scoop out of this little jar. Remember last week when we made the cottage pie and we had extra tomato paste. I just popped it in this jar into the freezer to use. I wasn't lazy this time and just like froze it in the tomato paste can because everyone always gets mad when I do that. Yeah, super simple curry. The reason I'm making it is because I had extra spinach and halloumi in the fridge to use up. I was like, this is just perfect. You need a clone of you. Your week was so busy. My goodness. Oh, I have an update actually on my little job search. Things are happening. They are like getting rid of the one contracting company that Sam and I used to work for. Their contract is up in May. So they are like finishing these next 2 dorms up at site where Sam is. And then they're gonna need a couple cleaners for these dorms. So the camp manager is like on it, and I might actually be going up to work with Sam next time he goes up. So I'm excited because I talked to the manager. I emailed her this week. I was like, hey, I haven't heard back from you. You said you were gonna reschedule the interview. She's like, yes, we're almost done like redoing the department and I will be in touch with you shortly. And that's because I like talked to the camp manager and then he escalated stuff. So, woohoo! Doing what? Housekeeping. So just like cleaning rooms, you're assigned a dorm, which is usually around 30 to 40 rooms. And then you just keep people's rooms clean every day. Like take 10, 15 minutes to clean their room, make their bed quickly, and that's it. Do laundry. The easiest shit ever, and I'll get paid way more than I was cooking up there. So I'm very excited. Amp, your Costco container of cashews. One moment, please. That's what we're using today, except mine are roasted and unsalted. I always have unsalted cashews. Yeah, I love like working on my own Greek. I usually just put in my headphones when I do that. Listen to audiobooks, podcasts, stuff like that. I'm very excited. Like I am so ready to go back to work. You guys don't even know. I mean, obviously I won't be around for streams if I'm going back up to work. But I honestly think this little break has been amazing, and like the time that we've got to spend together while I've been home, I am grateful. Okay, I honestly don't think I need to make a prep list for today. This is seriously so simple. So we'll prep all of the stuff we need for the curry, our Palak Paneer, or Palak halloumi, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll get the rice ready to go and on the stovetop, and then pretty much everything will be ready at once. The rice will take about 15-20 minutes to boil, and it is like you fry up some spices first, and then you toast the rice, and then you add your liquid. It's called Jeera rice, actually, and the only thing I didn't get for it was cilantro. Thought we could just garnish with green onion if we wanted to. And then our Pappadums really, really quick as well at the end. It's seriously, it's on the package, it says 3 seconds aside to fry in oil. I was like, whoa. Oh, that's a good one, Chase. Thanks for saying that. You sub almonds out due to cashew allergies. Totally can do that. Sam comes back on Thursday next week. I don't have green chilies either. I was just gonna put in some red chili because you have tomato in there anyways. Pop a little chili in there. Or you're saying chili in the rice. Let's do this, my peoples. Just gonna pop this recipe up on the side for myself. Okay, so you can use fresh or frozen spinach. Frozen might be easier because it's already been like blanched for you. But it doesn't say, like, it just says 500 grams of chopped spinach. I have like way less than that, right? I probably have half of that amount because I'm not making a massive amount of this for just me. So yeah, if your spinach is fresh, she says cook the spinach and cashews in water for 5 minutes until it's softened. That's kind of crazy. I was just gonna steam it. So you could do that too. And it's only a small amount of water. Wait, do we strain it out or do we use this? Instead of cilantro, you could use green chilies in the rice. Oh my Lanta, spice up your life. Yeah, I didn't feel like buying cilantro this week just for this one dish, right? Because like what, our small little handful of cilantro, and then what am I gonna do with the rest of it? I don't have avocados or anything Mexican like that. Hello, Kermit. How are you doing? Okay, so I'll get a steamer going for this, and I like to steam it in its whole leaves first, and then we can drain out as well. We should probably pick through it because look, there's poopy bits. And then we can strain out after that and chop it up. That's what I think is the easiest rather than chopping it first and having all these small pieces in the water. You're doing okay, Kermit. I'm with you on that one. Let's power through the rest of this week. Okay, after we get the spinach going, let's go into our onion and garlic will get minced up. I've really been craving Indian food lately. I'm very excited for this. This is my little steamer pot that I like to use. So I'll just fill this up with a little bit of water so it doesn't go through this, and then this just sits in here. I'll just load that up with spinach when it's boiling. And then I guess after we could just take the steamer off and put the cashews in the water. Perfect. Yeah, here's the recipes, Kermit. Another Indian dish that I think is a great intro into what Indian food is, because it's not overly spicy or anything like that, and it's vegetarian, so everyone can eat it. Pretty amazing. Okay, while we're waiting for the water, let's just pick out any gross leaves. So don't want to leave that in there. Okay, we'll be here, Oak Oak. Good luck out there. I might save like a handful of this for Sunday's stream because we're making a Mediterranean frittata. So like sun-dried tomato, feta, spinach is always good in that. This spinach lasted a good long time though, because I bought this last week, a week ago. And there's only a few pieces that are kind of poopy. The thing I really watch for in the fridge is that it doesn't get too cold and then start freezing. Because once you break those little cells, that is it. It's curry with spinach and rice. I honestly feel like this one is pretty healthy. And like I have extra chicken already in the fridge from a rotisserie chicken that I bought. So I thought having a little vegetarian lunch wouldn't be bad because I can always just have a little chicken on the side. I never thought I would have to be as strict with myself grocery shopping as I have to be. It's kind of a weird feeling, guys. Okay, I think that's good. Oh, no. It's funny, like, you keep picking and you'll always find more. Hello? Really, Torino? Really? You need the spinachi. It was on sale last week. That's why I bought it. I think I got this whole clamshell for like $3.99. Can't beat that. Okay, that's been picked through. How much cashews do we need? Cashews. 50 grams? That's nothing. What a weird amount. What you doing today, Torino? Did you get snow like the rest of us? 50 grams, guys, is not much at all. It's like, kind of just fill up this little container, and that'll be good. You're in a bad mood? Oh, man. I also have not been sleeping good at all lately. I've been feeling kind of crazy, guys. I'm really gonna say that. A crazy version of Kate. Okay, that's all measured out. We're just waiting for the steamer to come up. While we're waiting, let's get our onion and garlic minced up for the base of the curry. As well as ginger we need. Gulab jamun for dessert. Is that the one that's coated in syrup? I have not really been having a sweet tooth lately. Been a little bit of like fasting going on this week. So much fruits and veggies and stuff like that. They're like little Timbits. Yeah, okay. I remember it. You commented on my Instavid. Thanks, Torino. I will look at all the comments after stream today and reply to all of you, okay? This ginger today, this was the nicest piece of ginger in the entire store. I'm not even making this up, and like half of it's rotten. What can I do? Do I need to bring like a little foraging knife to the grocery store, trim off all this stuff I don't want? You have a major, yeah, I won't say that word. You have a major addiction for anything pakora. Me too, dude. Okay, that's enough garlic. Maybe let's do a couple more from this. Pickerel pakora? Dude, I can't even imagine how good that would be. So fresh. I also cooked Indian food today because a lot of it was on sale. A lot of these ingredients. Greek. Can you tell me the holiday, why it's on sale? Because it's not still Ramadan, is it? It had another word that I wasn't familiar with. Yum. Yes, the green and the red sauces that they serve with the pakoras. The red sauce is, I believe, a tamarind sort of chutney. It might be Diwali. I don't know. I'd have to look at the Save on Foods flyer. And then, yeah, what's the other green sauce? Kind of just this herbaceous cilantro sauce. I think we're good, actually, with those garlic cloves, guys. Because I have been noticing this Chinese garlic has been quite strong when we use it. So we are going to just smash these to make it easier to peel. And I think my steamer is basically ready to go. You can take a little pause break and go over to the stove for a sec after we peel this. It is still Ramadan. Eid is next week. Okay. I swear they had another word. But I could be wrong. Thank you, Jersey girl, and welcome. I saw that you followed like a couple days ago. Either way, I took advantage of all of the ingredients that were on sale. I bought a big bag of dried chickpeas so I can make my own hummus at home. It's way cheaper than paying like $3 for 200 grams of hummus every time. Okay, just rinsing my hands because they're all sticky. The Festivus for the rest of us. Holi is the festival of color. Okay, things are happening. That's funny you asked that, LoJack. We do still have the big green eggs. We have both of them. Just we live in an apartment, and last year when we were working out of town a lot, pigeons literally took over our balcony to the point where it was like so disgusting to even be able to use the grills. I'm finally at the point where it's like almost all pressure washed off, where we can have some grilling streams this summer. I've been like very adamant about keeping them off of the balcony. It was so disgusting though, and I'm still disgusted about it. Like I don't like being out there, but whatever, what can you do, right? I have been really wanting to use the eggs lately, but we still have winter here. We just got like at least probably 4 inches of snow today. So I don't know when we'll be able to fire up the grills. Okay, so we're just gonna stuff this. And then we'll watch it cook down. I'm gonna leave a little handful for Sunday for the frittata. Put the lid on. Pigeons are little angels. Unless you have to deal with them. Oh, I don't know if I can go with that statement. Oh, that's that one, Greek? Where people throw dry paint on each other? I've always wanted to do something like that. Oh, we've used the eggs in the snow. Just the way that the snow comes into the balcony, you're gonna be like walking in snow and it's not fun. I don't have a shovel. It is actually so satisfying to use the eggs in the snow because, yeah, if it's snow covered, you light it up and just slowly all the snow starts to melt off of it. Put up a hawk figure. That's what's done at airports. People have hawk figures. They have... This one balcony has 3 owls, like streamers all over it, and they still don't care. They still don't care. Okay, things are happening. What the heck? That leaves looks weird. I'm just gonna get some tongs to give that a little toss. Because the bottom ones, where the little holes are, is probably way more steamed. Our full pot of spinach just turns into nothing. Right, caretaker? It's hilarious when you cook spinach. The vanquishing of evil day, I like that, Greek. I like that a lot. Okay, so for this to cool, maybe I'll just take the steamer out and put it on a little bowl. We can go up a bit higher. Who dat? Who dat? Flood City. Thanks for the 27-month in a row resub, being part of the kitchen crew. How's your day? Boom. Okay, let's check. How is this looking? You really want it to all be nice dark green color. And I think we have achieved that. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep that on still. So I'm just gonna take that off. Just put it on that little bowl right here to cool. And then we're gonna reuse this water underneath, and we're just gonna soften the cashews. Why don't we do like a 2-minute timer? And that will help them thicken the sauce later. One component of a successful stream has been ticked off. The Chimkin Wing song. Happened to you last Sunday, made your lunches for the week, asked for 4 cups of spinach, ended up with a massive green mess nowhere near as big as it started. It's crazy. The smells when you make Indian food are some of the best ever, seriously. When you start frying all the spices and stuff. Because you always use butter too, it has that nice nutty smell. I think we're almost there. 50 seconds actually. Okay, while I'm waiting, I'm just gonna trim up this little piece of ginger. I wonder how much this dish costs to eat from the local restaurant here. Now I want to look it up. Because I've really been into more like if I crave something, instead of going out to eat it, try to make it myself. And it's kind of satisfying when you know that you saved money. Okay, 5 seconds. Just do that, and then I'll just strain it with the lid on in the sink. And then those are good to go. And I'll show you what to do later to prep them. We just have to give everything a little chop. I like to do that rather than trying to blend the curry sauce later. Just let it cook down naturally. First step complete. They are cashews. Isn't that cool? Oops, wrong one. Okay, so I was peeling the ginger here. Just a little bit of skin and any weird pieces that we wouldn't want to eat. Did I sneeze? I swear I didn't sneeze. What did I do? Maybe it just sounded like I did. Okay, I'm gonna use the garlic press for all of this, just because I hate messy garlic, sticky fingers. And then for our ginger, to mince it, I guess we could use a microplane, but I'd rather just have it minced. Just make a lot of thin slices through it and try to keep them all stacked together neatly, because this will help us mince it in a sec. Cooking with Madison. Welcome to Cook with Kate. Thank you for the follow. Oh, that's definitely an Annie command then. Annie would be proud of you. Whoa, Sambo with an Annie command? What a sneaker, guys. Okay, and then I usually just kind of separate the stacks of ginger so we can easily slice through it now. That's a lot of ginger for the amount of spinach we have. My Lanta. I guess we add a lot of other things though still. We add tomato and onion and everything else. And then you just go through after you're done your slices. And then you have these like really beautiful little minced cubes. If you don't want to take the time to do this, you can just grate the ginger on a grater. But I find you don't get as much of it when you do that. Get out of there. Plus it's nice to practice knife skills too. 6 more days till I'm reunited with my Sambo. Who in chat has had this dish before? Or really any Indian food. Greek, you've had it? That would be surprising if you didn't, actually. I'd be worried. She makes it a lot. Do your kids like it or eat it? So the minced ginger and garlic can go together in the same container, but the onion will be separate. Nice. That was really satisfying. Sometimes without the cheese, ooh. It would still be good without the cheese. It's true. They don't mind it. Yeah, just not crazy spicy. I'm sure every kid was like that. You've had butter chicken, which is awesome, but you've never heard of this. And you're excited to learn. Well, perfect. Okay, got a container for the onion while we're here too. I don't know if we need anything else yet. Privy B, thank you for the follow, welcome. Just grabbing the garlic press and a bench scraper. Because the bench scraper is seriously so helpful for lifting stuff off of the cutting board all at once, especially veggies and stuff like this. I love it. Okay, next. Very excited for all this ginger. If you guys don't know, ginger helps with inflammation. It helps with blood circulation. There are just so many good benefits from eating ginger. What else? Digestion. We could go on and on almost about the benefits of ginger. Even garlic too, right? When you were a kid 50 years ago, Frank, they were super rare cashews. 1 ounce per year at a convention, could you buy a small bag, 15 grams, salted and fresh, hot roasted in peanut oil? That sounds amazing. Because you're in Sweden, right, Frank? I know that some of the nuts that we get here in North America are a little bit more difficult to find in Europe. Your Ukrainian vampire consume copious amounts of garlic to neutralize ginger. Yes. And I can even use my bench scraper to scrape the garlic press off, and then I'm just gonna soak that because it's all sticky. You got garlic in your one meal in your meal plan? That's it? Do you make your meal plans or do you have a coach for that, Michael? Done with that. We can put it over by the stove. Now our onion, we're only gonna use half of this. I picked the biggest and best looking onion from the store today. And even this one, is it sprouting? Guys, I picked the biggest and the best looking onion from the store today. Cut it open, it's sprouting. That means it's like literally from last year. Also, how you know the onion's like older, if this one outer peel that looks normal starts to peel off and is really dry, that usually tells you that, yeah, this is getting old, guys. And anytime something like this is sprouted, same with garlic, it's just gonna have a bit more bitter flavor. Like a lot of chefs will say, oh, just kind of pick that little middle part out if you want. Yeah, I'll peel this one up because it's weird anyways, and then I'll just wrap it for the fridge. And let's pick this out while we're here too. You have a macro coach that does your plans? Sweet! That's always helpful. It's like hard enough shopping and like eating all this stuff, never mind trying to come up with the meal plan on your own. I'm just gonna wipe the board because there's some weird onion skin pieces on there that I don't want when we chop it. Okay, so small dice for this. If you want, you can mince it. I would just do nice little small dice. So that it basically melts away into the sauce, right? If you find it cuts kind of weird near the end, you can always go back over it. It's fine. This thing is really dry. What the heck is going on here? I'm just gonna take that part away. Because a lot of times, those pieces of the onion that are feeling dry like that, when you go to cook it, they don't really break down. They kind of stay more woody. That's just something I've learned from experience over the years. Is, yeah, trying to use as much onion as possible sometimes isn't the best. It's trying to make me cry a little bit. A little emotional, chat. Amp, I'm gonna have to start charging you for all of these movie and show names that we come up with here. Last year's onion. Okay, maybe it's making me cry a lot now. Just because I said mean things about the onion, this is what I get. Okay, we're gonna wipe everything. I'm keeping the bench scraper. I'm just gonna rinse it. You can use it for our spinach. I'm not crying, you're crying. Guys, I think it stopped snowing finally. That's nice. Okay, so we have our chopped onion and our minced garlic and ginger for the base of our curry. And that is pretty typical ingredients for a curry base. Let's wrap this, get it back in the fridge. I'll bring a cutting board so we can chop the spinach too. Unit X1, thank you for the follow. What's everyone else making or eating today on this lovely Friday? Hello there. I hope you're good too. Welcome in. I'll also take the halloumi out. We can cut that up right away. So this is our halloumi cheese versus paneer. So paneer doesn't have this. This is just mint that they put in with the halloumi. And this is also cow, goat, and sheep milk, whereas paneer is just cow's milk. And halloumi versus paneer, halloumi is a lot more salty and flavorful, I find. Compared to paneer is more like a bland sort of cottage cheese that has been pressed and is firm. You're on a diet so you can't munch like you'd like to. I've been there. It's hard. But it's worth it though if you have a goal in mind, I will say that. That's a good dinner right there. Italian sausage and mixed veggies. There's nothing wrong with that, for sure. Okay, so let's open this up. You can see there's some brine in there, so I'm just gonna open it over the sink. So we don't make a mess. And there's our cheese, and then that's the brine that's always in with it. The onion made my nose really run, guys. After this, I might have to blow my nose. Okay, so I like to just cut halloumi in quite large pieces because sometimes it falls apart. It's a pressed cheese. If we look at it on this side, you can kind of see this seam. So this was like once upon a time opened like a book and they just fold it up. So sometimes when you slice it, those two halves might fall apart like this, you'll see. That's okay, guys, don't worry. Nothing bad is gonna happen. And I like to go, what, like a third inch thick? Not too thick, but not too thin either, where it's hard to pick up and flip over when you are frying it. Good job. That's awesome. Oh, you're gonna have knee surgery? Just grabbing a container for the cheese too. Put that over by the stove. Okay, next one. This was one of the first things we did was just steam some spinach. And now what I'm gonna do is we just take this, I'm gonna pop it in my hand and just squeeze it. Look at all the liquid that's still coming out of there. Because you don't want your sauce too watery. You don't have to squeeze it until it's insanely dry. But a lot of the extra liquid we can get rid of. if you have a lot of spinach like this to drain, the other way that I've done this is take a clean dish towel, obviously not a white one because it might get stained, and just put all of the spinach in it and twist it over the sink, and all of the water will strain out. I would say knee surgery is pretty common, unit. But don't be feeling bad about that. Okay, now we'll chop this. This seriously looks like it's like no spinach. Okay? But once we mix it in, it'll distribute. Make everything nice and green. Done. Just move that over because we're gonna chop the cashews as well. And the cashews, we just boiled them for a couple minutes to soften them in the same water that this steamed over. So we'll add some nutty, creamy flavor into our curry sauce. They look so dark after you boil them. That's kind of crazy looking. I think I'd like to chop these pretty fine. And now that they're soft, it's actually really easy to chop through them. They don't fly all over compared to if they were just fresh. Go, go, go. As I say, they're not flying everywhere. They literally fly all over. I think I gotta open a window. It's getting really warm in here already. That looks good, guys. Up to you, honestly, how coarse or how fine you want to go. You had 2 packs of spicy Thai-flavored tuna. You switch that out to eat before your biggest meal of the day. Nice. Yeah, that is like the most important one when you're on a cut. You do not want to be hungry before you're going to bed. Trust me. Really, Frank? That's interesting. Spinach is often used to put green color in pistachio ice cream. They'll probably use like a freeze-dried spinach powder or something like that to keep it as green as possible. That makes sense, right? The green color. Because I will say, when you use pistachios, they're not that deep of a color. So you probably do need something to help. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, what's next? I know we need a tomato chopped up still. Let me just quickly look this over. Spinach, cashew, halloumi. I haven't got any of the spices yet. Garlic, ginger. Just 1 tomato chopped, it says. Don't leave it too big, I wouldn't. And then we just need a little bit of chicken stock, which I do have. In case we need some cumin seeds and garam masala as well. And we're pretty much there. This is my chicken stock that I made from rotisserie chicken last week. The last little bit of it we'll use today. I like to drink that in the mornings before I eat breakfast. Actually, I will need the light on. Cumin and garam masala. And then we'll need some more spices for the rice too. The rice has lots of yummy spices in it. There's that cumin ground, and then our garam masala. It's like that. Garam masala is just, in my mind, a bunch of Indian spices all put together. Like a very well-rounded Indian spice. And then optional, I would say, is the chili. Because not everyone likes spicy food, right? So optional if you want to put the chili. I might put a couple red chilies in just to simmer, but I'm not going to chop it up. Let me pick a tomato here. I'm going to use the not farmer's market tomato because I also feel like this might be sprouted inside again. So let's see. Nope, this one's still good. Awesome. Okay, so let's cut this a little bit smaller. Maybe we'll do this into thirds, little wedges. This one's bigger, so let's go into quarters. Just make slices like that, and that way the tomato will break down as it cooks in the sauce. So there's tomato paste as well as fresh tomato in here. Let's grab another container. Okay. Now let's look at the rice recipe. We need a little pot as well. Oh yeah, mine is in the dishwasher clean. Mickey, how are you doing? How's your Friday? Our pot. Sometimes I like laugh when you cook different things in a pot like this. I don't know why, but it'll like keep the indentation, whether it's like rice. I think this one was quinoa. All the little like round pieces. It's weird. The new fish are in. What did you get? It's so exciting. I'm doing okay. I'm feeling good on stream right now. Previously, though, this week, I had like zero energy. I don't know about you guys. Okay, our Jeera rice. You got 6 neon and 4 guppies. Cute. I loved fishes and like fish tanks and stuff when I was young. I think I still do. That's why I just got excited. Okay, they say 1 cup of basmati rice is definitely the Indian rice to use, but I have jasmine at home and I don't often have like 2 different forms of long grain rice. I'll use one up and then maybe buy the other kind if I feel like switching it up. So 1 cup of jasmine rice is what I'm gonna do. Then you need some oil or butter. I'm actually gonna use brown butter that I have left over in the fridge for this. It's gonna be so good. And then for this rice, you want all your spices to be like in its whole form, would be the most helpful. I don't have any cardamom pods, but I'm pretty sure I have cumin seeds. cinnamon stick, whole cloves, whole peppercorns. Like if you wanted to sneak a little bit of powdered or cardamom, you could. Yeah, you always toast the rice before, as well as the spices. And then there's bay leaf and salt, and then just your water. So cumin seed, cardamom, cinnamon, clove, and I have pepper over here. Cumin seed, gotta dig this one out from the back. So yeah, I always have whole forms of spices because I'll toast them and then blitz them up myself as I need them. Clove. Our cinnamon stick, and I would say using a cinnamon stick for sure in this. I find that if you use ground cinnamon in savory things, it makes it taste more sweet. That might just be a personal preference, I don't know. And then I still need to grab the rice too. You had a tooth pulled out? That's how you lost weight? I wouldn't recommend that version of losing weight either, I don't think, Frank. That doesn't sound very fun. You did salmon and mashed potatoes today with fried egg for dinner? I've been really craving salmon lately. I don't know the last time that I actually ate cooked salmon. It's mostly just been sushi here. Just needed a container to measure our rice. Yeah, you don't eat the salmon in front of the fish tank. Come on, Mickey. A little bit more. So leave that on the side for now. And then in here, we can measure out all of the spices. Which, that's a lot, actually. 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds? That's quite a bit. But it is called spiced rice for a reason. You want to taste all those things if you're putting it in. It's also really fun when you're like frying these spices because they'll start popping and stuff. So don't get scared. Okay, I'm not gonna pop the cardamom in yet. If it was the pods whole, then yes. But since it's ground, I don't want it to burn right away, so we can put it in more with like the rice kernels. Our cloves, which I actually didn't know cloves went in this type of rice. I'm gonna do 2 cloves instead of 3, because it is such a strong flavor. Cinnamon stick. Can I get this little piece? Like a half piece? Because this is gonna be way too much. If that's all you have, just break it up. If you want to see how easy that is to do, it's really easy. And then our peppercorns. They say 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, snap. Oh, I almost forgot the bay leaf. Don't forget the bay leaf. I'll go grab it when I bring this back right now. Anyone else really love the smell of bay leaves? And if you've ever seen like a fresh bay leaf bush, life-changing. Welcome in, Cookie. Are you done work for the day? How's your Friday going? Okay, done with this. I'll only do like a little spoonful of the cardamom. I think I have a little baby spoon for that here. A demi-tasse spoon is what this is called when it's like a little baby spoon. Demi-tasse. So the last thing we need in here is our oil or butter, which I'm gonna use butter. How much do we need? A tablespoon. Oak is back. Welcome back. Joy and ingredients for baked mac and cheese. Amazing. Okay, here's my browned butter. That's how you know it's brown butter. Let's get some of that out, and then we'll go to the stovetop, I think. Bay leaf is often used in perfume and aftershave. Yeah, the smell is so good. I'm gonna put the browned bits in there too. I'm gonna do like more than a tablespoon. Why not? Hold on to this because we'll have to stir this stuff while it is toasting up. They were actually open this time, not like last time. That's helpful. Okay, just putting these last few things away. And then we'll go over to this stove, and the last little thing we need is just a little pot or pan that will fit the poppadoms with a touch of, I'm gonna do olive oil because I don't have canola oil or anything like that. But 3 centimeters of oil in your pan to finish the poppadoms. Got everything you needed as well as the broth you wanted. 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's. It was a 2-for-1? Okay, how much was your 2-for-1 for Ben & Jerry's? I love comparing grocery prices. We got our oil. $7.50 per standard tub. Is that just like the pint, right? You're saying? Or did they make Ben & Jerry's in tubs there? What? What? Your flavor's Cherry Garcia? That's mine. Or like chocolate peanut butter. But Cherry Garcia with the choco chunks in it, my goodness. Yet it is, we know what's up. Now I need to look up the price. 3 centimeters is 1.18 inches. That's actually quite a bit of oil, actually. I was imagining 3 centimeters to be way less. And that's why Canadians often measure things with the imperial system. cinnamon bun? Okay, I'm looking online. And here right now for a pint of Ben & Jerry's, I don't know how much mils yours are there, Oak, but ours are 473 milliliters. They're $4.99 right now. So almost the same price as yours, but they're doing it in a different way. That is interesting. Yeah, half the length of a triple or double A battery. That's how we actually measure things. You always have to compare it to something else. It's the same there. It's over $6 there, Torino, for it. Robbery. Straight robbery. So yeah, they're offering 2 for 1 in Europe as the Ben & Jerry's, whereas here they just discount it per piece. I was gonna say that, Blood Oak. So wait, how much of a football field would that be? Okay, let's go to the stove because we're getting hilarious and crazy. We gotta back this up, baby, because there's a lot of cooking going on. Back it up. More. Okay, I'm happy with that, I think. Maybe not quite. Yeah, that's okay. 2 for 1 is a 1-week offer only. Okay, so here we're gonna have the pan for the curry. Which we're just gonna do that in a frying pan, guys. In my skillet. My trusty old skillet. And then I'm thinking for the Pappadums, we'll use our other little kind of high-sided little pan. Fill that with oil. Do a little test drop that'll fit. Beautiful. But we'll worry about those Pappadums later on. That's a lot of oil to use for that. Guys, anyone that's made Pappadums before, do you really need that much? Because that is kind of mind-boggling. I did about half that amount. About half an inch of oil. You can sometimes get stuff for $3 for $2 there. That's crazy. Don't they usually say something like up to your first knuckle of your finger? More for like cooking rice, isn't it? Speaking of that, I don't know what to start first, guys. I suppose the curry. Because that has to simmer out and stuff. And then once the curry is going, we can finish the rice and the Pappadum. I think that will be the best way to go about this. So then actually the first thing that we're doing for the curry is going to be frying our cheese. To get it all golden first before we start making the actual curry sauce. I'll use olive oil to start with this to fry the cheese, and then if we need more oil later, I think I'm gonna add some more butter. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna try to blot some of the extra liquid off of the cheese, because anything that's wet when you go to fry it is gonna really splash up, and it can be scary and like hurt you, right? Gonna use a couple napkins on the side while we're waiting for that. As well, I'm getting some extra fresh air in here. Okay, so we got a pair of tongs there for the cheese to flip it. And just get a bowl to put it into once it's done frying. It's like really sticking to the counter today. I don't know what that's about. Cinnamon roll day or cinnamon bun day. I didn't know there was an actual day. In Sweden and Finland, they have that day. That is cool. As I'm like blotting the halloumi, there's just more and more juices coming out. Looks like that pan is almost ready for us. You do want it to be preheated, otherwise I find the halloumi tries to stick a little bit at first. Tries to be a little bit of a pain when you go to flip it over. Get that oil nice and warm. Okay, last little piece here. That's how much liquid was just sitting in the container with the cheese. That would really like splash up. I got long sleeves on today, so it probably wouldn't affect me. Sometimes it even splashes on your face. Bring that over. Okay, little test piece. Beautiful. And yes, this is gonna destroy your stovetop just like last time we did it. If you go into that knowing it, it's easier. Wow, did you see that splash? That splatter? Almost got me in my face. I have legitimately had a grease splatter like hit my eyeball. It's not enjoyable, you guys. Like when I would be searing the like 300 burgers for up at work. It hurts. And like the oil like covers your eyeball so it's hard to see after too. Would not recommend for anyone. In Dutch, old culture, every Wednesday was, and for some people still is, ground beef day. From the Dutch saying, okay, I can't say that. Wednesday chops the week in half, so that's why you have ground beef. I don't have a splatter guard. We used to have one, but I never know like where to store it. It feels like it's just always out of place and an annoying piece of equipment to have around. This is like not really frying up. I'm gonna crank this heat right now. Usually when I cook it on like 6, it fries up. Hello? It might take a minute to cook some of the moisture out of the cheese too, and then it will start to crisp up. Learning. Yeah, my first ever job in a restaurant is I learned how to make potato chips because we did this amazing like five onion dip with homemade potato chips. So I would make like 3 big bins of potato chips every day, slice them through the food processor, and then obviously learn to fry it. The amount of burns I got from the deep fryer I still have scars on my forearms from it. There's nothing you can do when it happens, right? Like, it's too late. You've been got. Lets you know you're alive. Definitely. So you don't have to go too crazy dark on frying the cheese. Up to you, really, how dark you want to go. Just know, I guess, the crispier that we go, the more moisture we're cooking out of the cheese. So there's gonna be, like, less there. Yeah, go to 11. Wait. I only go to 8 and then high. There is no 11. Whoa, that one is like super dark. Look at this one! Like half of it's cooked and half's not. That's how you know your burner is not big enough for your pan. When you made beaver bites, fried dough balls, the oil splashed on your hand and your skin bubbled. Ugh. Yeah, you know you gone and done it when your skin instantly bubbles like that. Oh, whoa! Okay. Now that the moisture's cooked out, guys, it's crisping up quick. No dilly-dallying here. Holy snaky. And it's okay if it kind of breaks up too. Because paneer, you like chop into cubes. Okay, instantly we're gonna pop onions into here. Cool off the pan a bit. And then turn it down too, we don't need it on 8. Let's go get a spoon. It smells so good already. Already. That's what the neighbors get. I had to smell all their good cooking this week. Now they have to smell mine. Hello, Chan. How are you doing? It's more the burner amp because my stovetop is slanted. So if I don't like swivel the pan kind of around like this as I'm cooking, it'll cook very uneven. Okay, we need some more fat in this pan. How do you know? Because things will try to burn quickly if there's not enough fat, rather than caramelize. Let's just pour in the last of the brown butter. Call it a day. And then we'll let this onion cook down, get nice golden brown, and then we'll add our garlic and ginger next. After that, we add our spices. There, we have now cooled the pan down. Now we're just gonna saute that a little bit. Keep the tongs because we'll need it for flipping the poppadom. And then we also just kept all of that yummy, like, browned goodness from the cheese that was in the pan. You see how it colored the onions? Yum. So now that we're starting with the vegetables and the curry base, we can add some salt and pepper to this and start seasoning it throughout cooking rather than just doing it at the end. And then the salt also helps to draw out the extra moisture. I got a thirst today, my friends. You're warming hot dogs with sparkling hot dog water that 7-Eleven is selling. What is going on over there? Let me know if you need help. This is the most like perfect sizzle. And see how after I stir it, I always re-spread out what we're cooking, so it all cooks nice and evenly. Cookie, have you not heard of this one, Cookie? Is this news to you? I think I've seen that. Did I see that on Instagram or something? Okay, I put the cumin and the garam masala away by accident after we did the rice. I'm just gonna go grab it while the onion's cooking. America's 7-Eleven. There's nothing better than the 7-Elevens in Southeast Asia. Life-changing. The greatest. Or maybe anywhere in Asia, but I've only been to the ones in Southeast Asia. So awesome. Okay, I think it's starting to turn golden brown now. It's hard to tell with it absorbing all the fond off of the pan. I think we're starting to turn golden brown, so a good time to add our ginger and garlic, which there's actually quite a bit to cook down. Scrape all the goodness out of there. This isn't in the recipe, but if you wanted the dish more creamy, you could probably add some coconut milk with the chicken broth. I think that would be so good. Okay, let those things cook together for a bit. And then next we add the spices, and then it's the tomato paste so we can get that cooked so it's not bitter. It was an April Fool's. Excuse me. Wow, there was actually a place that did April Fool's this year. I didn't see like any jokes online that day. We do want to keep this stuff stirring around as we're cooking the garlic and ginger because it tends to burn pretty quickly. That's also why we didn't cook it with the onion. We could probably add the whole tomato with the tomato paste at the same time too. Okay, coming in with some spices. Spice up your life. They say 2 teaspoons of each. That's the garam masala. I'm gonna go a little bit less on the cumin. Just because cumin to me is quite strong flavor. Everyone's palate is different. So we'll toast those up a little bit. This is smelling insane. Add our tomato, which is gonna add a little bit of moisture. Let's see if I can scoop out any tomato paste. Nice. That thaws really quick actually out of the freezer. And a couple scoops of tomato paste from the jar, and then we'll get that stirred up really well. Do like that. scrape this off of the spoon. Ah, got it on my finger. Garam masala is the magic. Oh, it's so good. I've really been craving Indian food these past like 2 weeks probably. And I had extra spinach and halloumi in the fridge, so I thought this was perfect. So you really want to mix that tomato paste in with everything until everything is really coated red, and then you'll see how the color starts to cook back out of it. It's such a good smell when you do this. The sugars in the tomato are caramelizing. Let that go. You're listening to a comedy podcast, and a Scottish comedian was legitimately asking, why do people ask for sparkling water that comes from a bottle, yet have it poured in a glass with tap water, made ice cubes? What? It's true. What is wrong with us? Okay, the red color is getting deeper. I don't know if you can tell as much on the camera, but I can tell even as the fresh tomatoes is cooking down. Get ready for the broth being added next. The fresh tomatoes are like making their own version of tomato paste. This is crazy. Like 1 moment more, and then we'll add the broth and the spinach. True. Yeah, kind of like with stuffing or French toast. You bake the bread only to make the bread soggy, to bake it again so it's not soggy. It's like, what? Okay, so they said only add like half a cup of stock, which is not much at all. Let's turn this down now to like really low heat. Give that a stir, scrape all the yummy bits off of the bottom. I also want to like scrape this stuff off that's stuck in my spoon. Whoa. I think we need more broth. Half a cup's nothing. Okay. And then all this goodness. Spinach and cashews. And then it says after this is done simmering, you just add the cheese back in. Simmer for a couple of minutes so that it's hot, and you can serve it. So let's get this stirred in. We'll turn it nice and low. I still might add like more liquid, because this is looking quite dry. But to me, the green color comes out more if you simmer this together. She's like, just add the spinach and then add the cheese and simmer it and it's done. But I don't feel like that is quite long enough of a process. Let's get that saucy so there's actually something to cook. The cashews should also soften further. And then usually I just spread it out into one even layer. Hi, Paloozer. How are you doing today? It's good to see you. Okay, now we're going over to the rice. So in this pot, we have a bunch of spices as well as just some clarified butter. So we have cumin seed, clove, black peppercorn, bay leaf, and a cinnamon stick. So we're going to start toasting that up together until the spices are kind of popping. And then we have our 1 cup of rice. And then I didn't have any cardamom pods, I just had ground. So we'll add the ground cardamom when we add the rice. And then lastly, it's just the Pappadums to get done. At the end. Wait for that to heat up. Who in chat has had Pappadums before? Because this is my first time making them at home. I'm really excited. Guess I can open the package while we're waiting. That's still crazy that it only takes 3 seconds in the oil to fry the papadum. Get this butter melted. And then when you hear the cumin seeds popping a bit, that's how you know things are working. You see the little bit of simmering over here? I think we still need more liquid, you guys. It just keeps absorbing everything. And I really want it to start simmering. But it's too thick. Okay. There's like a little bit of bubbles and foaminess happening here. You guys can see it. It's only 2 C's thick. I don't know if I had enough spinach Greek, but I know it's still gonna be so flavorful. It was relying on the liquid in the spinach. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, if you feel like there's not enough liquid, add more. Whoa. The smells, you guys. This is crazy. And I wouldn't go too far from this as we're toasting this. The cumin might not pop either. Sometimes it does. But I'll usually swirl that until it gets nice and fragrant. Yeah, I mean, it said to cook the spinach beforehand. So that's what we did. We're gonna add the rice to toast now while the spices finish. And then fill this up with 2 cups of liquid for your 1 cup of rice. Hello, Storm Chef. How are you doing? Now, do I want to switch to that one? Nah, I'll just keep this one. Stir your rice kernels up. Because you don't want to burn the spices. Definitely not. And how we know the rice is toasting, because the kernels turn white from translucent. So once about half of the kernels are white, then I add the water. It also said to rinse, if you were using basmati rice, rinse it until the water goes clear. But I never rinse my rice, you guys. Still to this day. Is that a stick of cinnamon? It is. Yeah, here's the recipes if you want to make this for yourself. When you start boiling this rice on the stove top, oh, so fragrant. I think that's looking good. You can see that a lot of the rice kernels are white. Now there should be a pretty good sizzle when you pour this in too. Perfect. Don't forget to add our little bit of cardamom. Because cardamom is life. Cardamom is also this spice that's really prominent in chai tea. I might have to make a chai tea later, we'll see. I don't want to be up forever though. But yeah, whenever I go like to a restaurant for Indian food, I will always order the chai tea. And then we're gonna pop the lid on that, my friends, so that it comes up to a boil. And I'll turn up the heat a couple notches. And the way that I cook rice, no matter what it is in the Indian style. And I learned that by just looking up one time how they make the rice after I had it delivered once, and I was like obsessed with it. I was like, how do they make Indian rice like so fluffy? And you always have to do that toasting step. And for some reason, toasting the rice first and then cooking it at a higher heat rather than a simmer gives you the fluffiest rice. I don't like rice that's like too pasty or sticky, that doesn't have the kernels structure anymore. So if you're like that, this is the rice for you. So you'll have less kernels sticking to one another if you rinse the rice. And then a lot of other people say rinse your rice because there's like weird stuff on it, whether it's dirt or bugs too, but do whatever works for you. Your mother-in-law makes the best, hands down, toasted homemade chai tea. I can only imagine, Greek. Yeah, right, Crooks? The rodents in the facilities. I mean, how about the one time at home myself, I go to cook rice. I think this was on stream, right, guys? Pour the rice out, pop it in the pan, start toasting it, and rice weevils start coming out of it. That was a learning experience. Do you remember that, Cookie, or did I do that off stream? I forget. I was so terrified and like upset, violated. Maybe one more thing I'm gonna add to this rice is a pinch of salt. Just because I think that would pull out all the other flavors really well. Put the lid back on. Your sister makes powdered chai latte mix and hot cocoa mix to hand out at Christmas. That is, I love when people do that. It doesn't take that long, and to have that at home to consume, so easy. You're watching a cooking streamer, she found a live caterpillar in her artichoke. That one's not really surprising because there's so many little crevices in an artichoke, right? Lots of good hiding spots. Same with veggies like cauliflower and broccoli as well. Always good to kind of look through as you're cutting it up, because I've definitely found a couple little of those green worms in there. And if you happen to not see it and eat it without knowing, well, you didn't die, so it's not that bad. We always joke around and say extra protein. It's kind of gross when you think about it, but happens. How else do you think food is grown? I think we want the bugs there, right? It would be weird if they weren't. Hey, this rice is going pretty crazy now. I'm gonna turn it down a bit. Because sometimes you can boil it too quick, and then it's still a little bit crunchy at the end. Just gonna give this a stir. Turn it up a little bit from that water that we added. It seriously smells like an Indian restaurant in here. I'm the one that's smelling up the apartment building hallway today. Although I'm right at the end of the hallway, so I don't know if it wafts down that way. I guess I'll find out if I go for a walk later. The smells are really making me salivate though. Hey guys, I think while we're waiting, we can probably try this Pappadum thing. Doesn't seem too difficult. I'm gonna turn this to number 4 out of 9 on the stovetop. You don't need the oil insanely hot, right? We're doing like a little bit of a shallow deep fry. So they said a temperature on here. 180 to 200 Celsius, which I'm pretty sure would be 350 to 375 Fahrenheit, which is a very typical temperature for deep frying. And then for after the Pappadum is cooked, let's get a plate. And we'll just line it with some little napkins or a paper towel to wick away any excess oil. And I think I'll make 3 Pappadum for myself. That'll be lots, but I like to have extra for the leftovers. Just make a bunch of layers. Napkins. Have a little peek. Nice. And you will notice that a lot of the spices will just float to the top of the rice as it's cooking. And in your mind, you would think that it's not flavoring the rice if it's doing that, but somehow the rice still comes out fragrant. So don't worry if all the spices are sitting on top. I think while we're waiting, we should try the curry. It's gonna cook down a little bit still, but I want to see how the flavor is. Mmm. Need like a little bit of salt, but we're not gonna, I think, finish seasoning until the cheese is in there. Because the cheese might add a little bit of salt as well. Taste all the spices though. Nothing is overpowering itself. Whether it's the onion, garlic, or ginger, it's all just balanced together. Really yummy. I can't believe how easy this was. Okay, so I'm gonna look up the really yummy Indian place here. It's called New Asian Village. I haven't been there in forever though. I just want to see the price that they're charging for what I'm making today. Because it's always like pretty satisfying, right? If you know that you saved money and you made it yourself. There's also a tomato version of this. It's called Kadai Paneer. So homemade paneer, thick tomato curry, sauteed onion, and bell pepper. That's $23 for a portion though. So their Palak paneer with the fresh spinach and paneer is $21. We're just waiting for that moisture to cook out there. And that seems like it's almost ready. I'm just gonna kind of look for it to get wavy. That's how I know it's hot. And then a side order. Can you even get a side order of rice? Like this. It's true, right, Greek? What I have in the pan there is probably 2 portions worth. That's so wild. I'm pretty sure though at this restaurant, when you order a main, you always get a side of rice with it. And then you just order the naan or whatever you want on the side. Okay, those 2 things are almost ready. I think we're gonna switch up the view when we do the Pappadums. I'll make a little bit of room here to bring the camera over. This rice costs way more, right? I didn't even see Jeera rice on the menu. Let me just switch this a sec so I don't make you guys dizzy. Nice. We are in that pan. We are on it with the Pappadum. Yep, that's a good comparison, Greek. I think it was smart for me to make this one at home. Hi, Nightwalker. How are you doing? Happy Friday. I'm gonna just turn that up to medium because it doesn't feel very hot. And then our rice. Okay, it's just starting to stick to the bottom of the pot. Rice kernels are all cooked. That's the most important. So now we're gonna pop the lid on and just take it off of the hot burner. Mmm. The cumin seed flavor, the little bit of cinnamon. Yum. And then doing that, so taking it off of the heat and keeping the lid on, it's gonna continue steaming and fluff up. Is that I-Town, CA, or L-Town? Either way, welcome in, friend. Very true, right, Greek? Very true. Yeah, $70 for all this today. That would be wild. Okay, so all it said, if you're unsure about the oil, to just test a piece of Pappadum. And I saw on the back of this package, there's like a little cracked one. So why don't we do a little sneaky dunk? Okay, it didn't puff up yet. But that's all it says to do. Just like dip it in oil, and if it puffs up, you're good to go. Oh, nice. I-Town. Welcome, friend. I hope you're doing okay in New York. I saw the news right before I was streaming. One of my mods is actually over there. So we were saying, what the heck is going on? I suppose I could also just leave a little piece in there. And when it crisps up, you know it's hot. Pro tip. The package also gave directions of how to cook it in the microwave, but I thought that would be weird. I mean, I guess we could do that if this doesn't work, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. Whoa. Okay, things are happening. It's been absorbed into the oil. But when the oil is actually hot, it should only take 3 seconds per side, it says. So we shall wait until that moment. In the meantime, I'm just gonna give this a little stir. I feel like the color's kind of changed a bit. The combo of tomato with spinach, I find you'll never really get that breen of a sauce unless you have like way more spinach than tomato. The last time I made this on stream a couple years ago, I was able to get it really green, but I'm pretty sure I put way less tomato in. Okay, look, it just started to pop up. Is that why they're called Pappadums? I guess I'll go higher. Just going a little bit higher in increments. Don't just crank it to high heat because you're being impatient. We're almost there. As far as plating goes, you definitely want something with a rim to keep all that yummy sauce in there. I'll go with this one. Is it even working? It's pretty crazy, like, being a chef and still having these certain things that I've never made. That's pretty crazy feeling. Even after all these years of all the things we've cooked, still. I've never made something as simple as a Pappadum. I'm pretty sure this is just, like, burnt now. I can't really tell. The oil is smoking now. Just gonna drop that in my sink so I don't burn the garbage can. Sneak out that little piece of pepper. And let me try a bigger piece now. Or let's just retry another piece. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's working. Now I see why you might need more oil. But I think as long as you pay attention to how you're cooking it, it'll puff up no problem. And then it says it'll continue to crisp as it cools off. We're doing it, guys. That was actually so fun. So let me turn that package over and get like a nice big one. I'm scared it's gonna crisp up or like curl up too much. Just hold it down then. Ah! It's terrifying. But I love it so much. This is actually so fun, you guys. What the heck? There's like a little bit on that one edge that didn't pop up yet. Okay. That's what you do? I'm obsessed with Pappadums. I don't care what anyone says. It worked. I was just rechecking it because it looked not that good, but it did. It was just a little bit of extra oil. Ah! It's like the Grow a Dino toy. I like how you can just hold it down in the oil where it didn't really get puffed. And it'll finish going. Like, seriously. That is so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna make one more and then we're good. And if you're wondering what the pieces of stuff in it are, I got a black pepper flavored one rather than a plain one. Because I thought that was cool. They were the same price, so why not? Is that one of the funnest things I've ever made? Probably. They are pretty delicate though after frying, so be gentle. Okay, get this off of the heat ASAP and off of the stovetop. Boom. Okay. Let me do a little switcheroo. One more time so we can finish our Palak off. As I put the hot oil pot literally where my camera is gonna go. Why is hot oil like so scary? It doesn't matter what you do with it, it's so dang scary. Also, look at my Pappadums. I just had to make room over here. Should always be scared of hot oil and hot sugar. Okay, I'm gonna put the rice back on there so it can start to warm up. No, you never mess around with hot oil. Forever scared. Okay, now we're gonna pop our cheese in here. Just gonna do it with my hands and like nestle it into the sauce. There's a couple little chunks that broke off. It's okay, don't worry. That one got so good and crispy. This was so perfect to do in this pan. Now let that warm up. Hey, it's Johnny Rodden. You mess with the hot oil? Yeah, you do. We know what kind of hot oil you're talking about. I'm just gonna nestle that in a little bit. Insane. Like, this looks crazy if you look at it over here. How did that? Like, how does that even happen? That was as fun as making, like, puffed rice or something like that. Is this my new favorite snack? And it's gluten-free. The taste from the black pepper, I'm glad I didn't put any spice in the curry. It's actually kind of spicy. Yum. Okay, let's try this. Remember, I said I'm not adding any real salt to the curry after we add the cheese in, because the cheese is salty. So let's taste around the cheese. It added a bit of seasoning, I will say that. I'm gonna do a small pinch of salt. But I think other than that, we are good. We barely added any salt to this. You're gonna start building nice. I have been eyeing up my my Audi RC car that we haven't touched in, like, what, almost a month since we built it together on stream. We get that going. Maybe when Sambo's back. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off and let's come over to plate together. That was easy. I feel like the steps were all very easy, but it still took kind of the normal amount of time that it takes us to cook anything on stream. Around 2 hours, 2.5 hours together. Okay, one glorious view of our Pappadum plate. So it was, I think, $6 or $7 for those 10 Pappadum. Which I kind of felt was expensive until I cooked them. And they grew way bigger. Let's see. Yeah, it was $5.99 for 10. That's not too bad, but it's not, like, great either for what it is. I wonder how easy it is to make that from scratch. Probably difficult. It's making you hungry, Mickey. Let's bring over the Palak first, actually. It always looks good in this camera. They're growers, not showers. It looks way better in this camera. What is that about? Tigers. Same brand on Amazon is $7.19. So I guess I got a good deal then. I mean, I'm only gonna eat one with my meal, so not a bad price. Okay, how are you gonna serve this? Probably just with this spoon. And then I'll show you guys the rice. Finished fluffing. Still steaming a bit, but we can bring it over here. I don't think it'll burn the board. Okay, first, before we even scoop out of this, I need to take a photo. It's too perfect looking. You're starting the new D&D build tomorrow? Torino, you thought the halloumi was shrimp? Or the Pappadum was shrimp cakes? Because shrimp chips look pretty similar to that. Shrimp chips. The cheese. The cheesies. Get out of here, bull. You're ruining the vibes. Let's get everything in here. Our feast. Does anyone else get as excited about food when you're done cooking as like I am right now? Or is that a one-off? Is that just a chef's thing? I don't like that oil speck in the photo, so we gotta switch this around. I don't know, I just feel like lately I've been getting really excited about all the things I've been making. It's the real Tony Montana. How are you doing, Tony? Welcome in. Boom. I'm sorry, what does that say? Rani Farfar or Fryams? I am in. My nose is running right now. Give me a sec, guys. It finally got me from when we chopped onions like an hour ago. One moment. Okay, I have returned. Let's make some room so that we can plate. I'm gonna take the poppadoms out. And probably the rice too. Clear the area. Are there any good Indian takeout places? There used to be a really good one that we would order from in Vancouver. It was called Indian Fusion. But here, actually there is one really good one. I would have to look it up though, because I forget what the name of it is. But we've ordered there once, and it was really delicious, I will say that. But lately I've been trying to like make it all myself. And it's been very fun to try that. So first thing in the dish is gonna be the rice. Just grab a spoon. Get a scoop of that in there. I'm gonna fluff it up. See how none of the kernels are really sticking together? You can mix it around really easy. They said if you see the peppercorns to take it out. And then the other thing that always kind of freaks me out about this rice is you think that the spices that were whole are gonna be crunchy. They all soften up, and it's not weird when you eat it. So that is Jeera rice, or just Indian spiced rice. Mickey, I keep making you go to the fridge, I'm sorry. It was burned down by someone? No. Okay, I don't even know where to start. It all looks good. I'm gonna put A little bit on the side. Obviously, it's always good to eat this with rice because it soaks up all those yummy juices. The curry sauce. I'm scooping it, kind of keeping the sauce underneath. I'll put a little bit up here just so we can show it in the photo. And then what? Pop this on the side. Nice, that was the way that broke. I'm calling it a day. You would get the ketchup. I saw ketchup was on sale here this week and I still didn't buy any ketchup. How long can Kate go without buying ketchup? Okay, it lights up a little bit better if I turn it that way. Can we just make our own already? I've done that before. It doesn't taste nearly as good as the store-bought. Like, the texture's off. But I mean, we can. Is that what this is about? We need to perfect. We need to figure out the Heinz recipe at home. It's gonna catch up with me one day. How dare you? Oh, I'm a ketchup fan. I mostly just eat ketchup with, like, potatoes or fries. But every now and then you need it to make barbecue sauce and stuff. So it is good to have in the house. Okay, I'm going in for an epic bite of just curry and rice to start. Yeah, that's probably true, Torino. I'm just not putting nearly enough sugar in to get the consistency. Mmm. The spices in the rice. The cashews in the curry sauce. Everything tastes really fresh. Okay, I need a piece of cheese with this. Okay, so remember I said if you wanted it a little bit more creamy or curry, you could always add a touch of coconut milk along with the chicken broth as you're simmering. I think that would be so delicious. I know you wouldn't put ketchup on it. It's just you're saying. We still love you anyways. Coconut milk, yeah, or yogurt. Mmm. When you eat it with the cheese, the cheese is still kind of squeaky. But I think that's like the creaminess I was looking for. So yeah, you don't need the coconut milk. But if you wanted it more rich. Whoa. That's a whole peppercorn. I've eaten whole peppercorns before. Sometimes they're really spicy on like the side of your tongue. I don't feel like burning currently. Mmm. Okay, is this like dippable? Is this scoopable? That was my idea. I seriously don't know which spice or flavor I can pick out first. You're tasting them all at once. Ginger, garlic, onion, cumin, garam masala, like seriously everything. That's what I was gonna say, Blood Oak. Imagine using halloumi in like a butter chicken poutine. Whoa. Whoa-y. You didn't see the cumin seed? We did 2 teaspoons of cumin seed into the Jeera rice, as well as some ground cumin into the Palak. One thing with a dish like this that everything's kind of soft, having a textural contrast like this is key. That is so satisfying. My first Pappadum experience at home. Oh, I get it. We do love our dad jokes here. You meant to say, didn't see that coming. It's wild how good this is. And so, yes, this is vegetarian, but I'm not worried about that. Because I have some like chicken pieces in the fridge. So when I eat this as leftovers, I'll just like throw a little bit of chicken in there for extra protein. Perfect. Oh, I love those shows, Torino. Yeah. Any show where they have like that huge platter of just spices in bowls. I could watch that forever. And yeah, they just go in with their hand. People in North America would go nuts seeing people do that here, right? Like the amount of times... It hasn't happened in the last few years, but remember during like COVID times, everyone had to wear gloves. People would come into stream, why are you not wearing rubber gloves right now? I was like, I'm cooking for myself. No, there's none of that in India. Yeah, it is really good, Michael. I wonder... I don't have the packets from the halloumi, but there is a little bit of protein in cheese always, right? And then we were reading, we get iron and calcium from this. It really does. Like, if you cook properly, there should be not much bacteria, right? Because the heat, if you handle everything accordingly, should kind of do its job. Okay, I'm looking on Twitch. We're gonna go raid today, friends. And don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as well as Sunday. Excuse me, that's a belch of approval for the chef. So much garlicky onion bits. Have you ever seen when they cook for a large number of people? I don't know if I've seen that. If you guys ever want to post links to those YouTube shows that you like, feel free to pop the link in our Discord channel. Oh man, yeah, we could think back to those times, hey Mickey? When there wasn't really too many people around. Life wasn't that bad. Okay, we have a couple of my favorite food and drink streamers I see on, who we often go raid. But then there's also someone new called Desifier. He's making quenelles, which is like a fancy pastry, if I'm thinking right. Some tortellini. Sometimes it's really fun to raid people that we don't know, right? Okay, let's do that. Desifier. So tomorrow's stream is gonna be a porky one. If you guys like anything porky, we're gonna do bacon wrapped pork tenderloin with a hot honey glaze on it. And then I had extra potatoes, so I thought it would be fun since it's kind of springtime, even though it's winter here still, to make a traditional potato salad to go with that, because like anything bacon with potato salad is so good. And then just a simple like sauteed bean on this side with herbs and garlic. Oh, lechon. Yeah, once upon a time we smoked a whole suckling pig on the Traeger on stream. We are pork people here. I just need to clear my board so I can get the raid set up. Make room! Yeah, warn him. We're a Mo Coke. And bacon wrapped pork tenderloin is just so dang good. Plus bacon was on sale this week, so I seriously could not pass that up. Okay, Deza Fire. Friends, thanks for being here today. I hope you learned a little bit, maybe got inspired to cook something awesome for yourself today or even this weekend. And it's always better if you share it with someone. I don't have anyone to share it with right now. I'm not gonna drive to go share it, but sometimes my husband is here with me or my roommate. We will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific. So I hope to see you then. And if you want any of the recipes that we cook, we have a Discord channel that's been around for over 6 years. Every recipe I've cooked on stream is in there. So definitely go check it out. Let's go see what Desafire is up to today. And thank you everyone for all your contributions to the stream. Flood City with the Sebi, as well as all our new follows. Welcome in. Nice to meet you. Okay, I'm gonna hit that button, friends. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. I'm gonna finish the rest of my yummy curry now. Bye!